Hello, my name is Ruth Nyambura from Kenya, and I work on agrarian justice and climate justice. And proud to be here as a feminist for this meeting, Financing for Development. So, in my own opinion, I think that the two main issues concerning the Africa Rising narrative is one, because there's no agreed definition of what Africa Rising is, which is problematic. Two, because also that the main narrative being pushed about Africa Rising is that of an extractivist model, a neoliberal model of a neoliberal economic model. So for me, those are the two main issues. One, because we do not know what it is, and two, because of the narrative that's coming out. In terms of feminist
alternatives. Second question is, what the feminist alternatives do you think could be used to challenge this narrative?
Well, in terms of a feminist alternative, so the first thing about one of the central things about feminism is that feminists write back, they talk back, they research back. They go against the grain, they create alternatives, they create new narratives. First of all, I think that's absolutely important for African feminists, to be in a position to give a counter narrative by researching, by talking, just basically rejecting the narratives that we're being given. And of course, as feminists, we do understand the multiple and intersecting oppressions that people in this continent face, especially women in their diversity. So it's important for us to be able to own our own narrative, to be able to have, our own voice, our own agency. I think that has to be a core strategy to counter the Africa Rising narrative, and also just going to specific issues. We want an economic model that actually benefits people, that actually puts the welfare of people, ecosystems, for example, at the forefront, and not blindly privileging profits. Finally, in terms of a feminist alternative to the Africa Rising narrative, is that we need to see what the sites of struggle for us are. That's the most important. Thing. We need to occupy spaces where the oppressions are taking place. In structural, when we talk about systemic and structural issues, we must occupy the sites that actually perpetuate the systems of oppression. And I think, it's of course not getting into the multiple oppressions that people in Africa face, be it in the issues of health, sexual and reproductive health rights, be it the struggles that smallholder or peasant farmers face in the continent, or pastoralists, or nomads or informal traders. These are important sites of struggle, and bringing them all together, because they ultimately intersect. And of course, a key tenet of feminism is intersectionality.